You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. In the house today, we have Tom Wilson. Tom, welcome to the show, and can you give our listeners a little bit of history on how you started your journey in this music business?
Oh my God, I can tell you that all I ever wanted to do was be a communicator and an artist, and I decided that around the age of 4 years old, believe it or not. And I didn't really know what an artist was, and I'm still figuring it out at the age of 60. Yeah. But I knew that it was going to be a lifelong journey for me. Let's just say you use the word journey. It has been a lifelong journey. And since I decided at the age of 4 that I wanted to be writing music, and I wanted to be painting, and I wanted to be writing, I just knew that I wanted to be that person. I can say that if I walked out into traffic and got hit by a car, I would actually die doing exactly what I set out to do as a kid.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's move on here, Tom, to the first tune, Mohawk by Tom Wilson.
Sisters, Lynn and Tracy, for the very first time. And the saliva in my mouth is thick like motor oil as I sit in the back seat of the car. I'm nervous, practicing my smile. I stare in the rearview mirror and slowly, silently mouth the words. From a Mohawk baby kitchen table when I was just a little kid. From a Mohawk baby to a Mohawk man, here I stand, here I stand, yeah. look out between the front seats, out through the windshield, and the fog that I've been living in my entire life begins to lift. I know this place. In fact, I dreamed myself here as a kid. Dreams that were fantastic. Dreams that took me to times and places that I knew were real. I'd fly through the black along the shores of the St. Lawrence Seaway and come swooping down on these roads on the back of John Lazar. My grandfather, sturdy and sure of himself, not a word spoken, but I could hear him singing as he carried me. I climbed down off his shoulders and walked to the rhythm of broken chains with the reserve dogs barking behind me. I went through the deepest blues and greens, the greens of graveyards, and stepped into the black shadows cast by the Drake Bridge. In my dreams I was safe, surrounded by my ghosts. In my dreams I was free. In my dreams I was where I was exactly supposed to be. From Mohawk, baby, to Mohawk, man, here I stand, here I stand. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today we have Tom Wilson. Tom, can you tell our listeners a little bit about Mohawk, the song, and how this was born?
The music that I'm creating now, along with the visual art that I'm creating now, is all coming from a 6-year new journey that I'm on, Fred, and that is finding out at the age of 53 that my mother and father, who I thought were my mother and father, were not actually my mother and father, that I was actually adopted by them. I found out from a complete stranger. I found out that my cousin, the woman who's acted as my cousin my entire life, is actually my mother. She's a Mohawk from Ganawake.
Cool.
I found out that my father is actually a Mohawk from Ganawake. I grew up an only child. I met 6 of my brothers and sisters 3 summers ago. And I also grew up thinking I was a big, puffy, sweaty Irish guy.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a big, puffy, sweaty Mohawk man. So those revelations have put me in a place artistically that now I am going to dedicate the rest of or as much of my artistic life that I have left on this earth, dedicating myself to bringing honor and love and recognition to my Mohawk culture. Yeah. Because, Fred, as a guy who grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, I can't reach my Mohawk roots the way my brothers and sisters and ancestors did. I come from 7 generations of Skywalkers.
Yeah.
I have a hard time standing on a step stool to change a light bulb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to bring honor to that, you know?
Yeah.
During the Oka crisis, Fred, I was at home in Hamilton years ago, watching that on TV and listening to it on the radio, and my blood was boiling, and I didn't know why. But I was at home in Hamilton, and my brothers were filling out their wills at their kitchen table and going to fight in a war they didn't think they were returning from. So what I'm saying is that I can't get to my culture the way my family naturally did. So my way is, right now, it's going to be through bringing honor to my culture through my art.
Oh, that's excellent, Tom. That's just
and Mohawk is an example of that.
That's cool. And also, you have an event that's happening tomorrow. Can you fill our listeners in on that?
The Art Gallery of Burlington is launching an exhibit of mine called Beautiful Scars, which is named after my book, which became a bestseller, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
The book is on Penguin Random House Books. And the art show, the exhibit is called Beautiful Scars, Mohawk Warriors, Hunters, and Chiefs. And it's part of the long road home for me. And that launches tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and I will be doing a performance with an orchestra, performing songs that have inspired me over the last 6 years on this journey.
Wow. And also, are there some dates from now until the end of the year, and what's happening in 2019?
Well, there's not a lot. I go to Nashville next week, and I start working on a record with Blackie and the Rodeo Kings. But next year, Lee Harvey Osmond, which is a band that I have with the Cowboy Junkies and the Sky Diggers and a really good, close musical friends, that project comes out, and that album that comes out on January 25th for Lee Harvey Osmond, which is my band, it's called Mohawk. And the song that you just played is actually from that album. And we launched that at the Horseshoe in Toronto on January 25th, the day the record comes out.
Well, that's cool. All right, Tom, I just want to thank you for being on the show today. And we're going to also do a part 2 coming up in January with Tom before his release for the Mohawk, which is January 25th. Am I not correct?
That's right. So let's see, maybe we get together on January 24th. What do you think?
That sounds like a plan, Tom. And thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you. And have a great day. You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Have a great day.
Intuit Worldwide Radio.